everyone, this is Laura and welcome back to another episode of Client Stories with DNAngels. Excuse me where I am. I live on a tiny little island in North Carolina and my friends and I are on beach patrol. We had to go out and check on some turtles. So these are my friends. Everyone say hi. Hi. There's a whole bunch more up there, but I'm kind of behind the pack trying to do this video. The reason I'm doing this video now is because I got some really happy news that I needed to tell you. So first of all, this is a client. Her name is Anna. Just a couple years ago, she was our client. And her story is so happy. I just had to say it. So anyway, before we get too far, can you guys put some little turtles or green hearts or something in support into the comments? All right, so we'll get back to Anna. So she grew up knowing that she didn't know her dad. She just lived with a single mom, and life is hard. Those of us who've had single moms, we know things get hard. They got to do everything. But Anna really did feel like there was a lot of neglect. And as she got older, she got married and had her own kids. Her kids are now in middle school, but she doesn't really speak to her mom anymore because she did feel like that connection with her kids, and she's like, my mom didn't have that connection with me. So that's another story. But when her kids were in elementary school a few years back, they had to do one of those projects of the family tree. You know, when the kids do a little map out, who's from where, blah, blah, blah. And of course, the kids, they're twins, so they're the same grade. They did not know who the whole one-sided family is. So it was about that time. Do you guys remember those Ancestry commercials that would come on TV and it'd be like, ooh, are you Italian? And they show people eating pasta. Or are you Mexican, people eating tacos, whatever. I'm Italian, so I understand. But they had all those commercials out then. And excuse me, I'm out of breath. This is a 5-mile walk here. And it's very windy. So she sent away for the test. And she really just wanted to find out the countries to tell her kids. So, you know, she's waiting a couple months. The tests come back. She gets the results. And her kids are all happy. But then she's looking at the results. And a lot of people do this. They only do it for the countries. They don't really look at the matches. But while she was looking at the matches, she noticed that she's like, this person has to be my dad's side. It says they're, you know, close related. It said first cousins, but it was really first cousin once removed once we figured out who it was. And I don't know him. If it was my cousin, I would know. So she reaches out. Anna reached out. The match, her name is Kathy. So she reached out to Kathy, and Kathy had no idea who she was. Again, she was someone else who just looked at the countries. She didn't have anything to do with the DNA matches. So that was interesting. They started talking. They got to be very friendly, actually. They only live like 45 minutes apart. They started meeting here or there, which is awesome. She's like, I finally saw someone who I looked like, because she looked nothing like her mom, nothing at all like her mom. And when she would later would find out she was her dad's identical twin. Identical. So anyway, they start talking, and Kathy's like, you know what? I'll reach out to my uncle. And I was like, no, I'll think of something. But Anna got kind of scared, so she contacted us. We have a separate area. You know, when we identify birth parents for no charge. But we do have some smaller little things that bring in some money to help pay for all of our tons of Ancestry accounts and tons of websites and all that stuff that we have to pay for. So we volunteer, but these things pay for that. So it's called our liaison service, and Robin is in charge. Robin is like a people whisperer. She's brilliant. So if you guys need any help contacting someone, let Robin know. Let us know. We'll find Robin for you. So anyway, Robin calls him. His name's Jonathan. Jonathan's like, I totally know who you're talking about, but I had an affair and I was already married, so I don't want to tell my wife. I already have 6 kids. He had 6 kids. They're all actually younger than Anna. So he's like, I can't do that to them. So, you know, you can't force people. But also, when you're in this situation, you have to remember, you, as a searcher, have been searching for a long time for this. You've really been looking. You've been doing all the steps. When you find someone, it's brand new to them. They don't have any time to digest this. So I actually, in my personal experiences, I have found more positive than negative reunions, for sure. It does sometimes take a little bit of time for people to like digest all of that information, but in all honesty, I have a lot more positive than negatives. So, you know, Robin just left that, and Anna and Kathy went on being friends. They got to be like besties. They have kids around the same age, a mix of girls and boys. They would do vacations together, everything over the next 6-8 months. Every once in a while, Kathy would check in with her uncle, Jonathan, and he still was like, no, I can't do that. I can't tell my wife. So he didn't. But then, about a year in, Kathy calls, and she's like, Anna, I have to tell you, our grandmother is really sick and she's not going to make it. And that was like the final straw. Because Anna was like, I need to meet her. I need to meet her. And I can totally understand that. So Kathy called Jonathan again. He's like, no, go ahead and do what you want, but I'm not being part of this. So a couple weeks go by, and they plan this like little family vacation over by Kathy's house. They leave all the kids. Kathy and Anna get in the car to go to the grandma's house. She lived very, very close to the grandma. They get there, and Jonathan's in the driveway. He drove all the way up. You know, and it was like, I can't even imagine. Anna said they both looked at each other and just started crying. She's like, it was like looking in the mirror. She did look exactly like him. And he said that he had told his wife after the last phone call, the wife, bless her soul, said, get in the car, you need to go meet your daughter. So he did. They spent time with the grandmother before she died. And immediately after that first visit, Anna went home with her dad, Jonathan, and met his 6 kids and his wife. That wife is an angel on earth. She has taken in Anna. She has her own daughters, but she's like, look, you were meant to be our child. She had, you know, they told her the whole story about her growing up and not having much support. And she's like, and your kids are my grandkids, and these are your siblings. There's no such thing as half. These are your siblings. We are your parents. We got you. Can you imagine that support? I mean, literally, I cried when I heard that story. I was like, oh my gosh, Anna, you are one blessed girl. So they got to be super close, taking family vacations, and I just got an update from Anna just this week telling me, you know, that their kids, that totally the kids are with their aunts and uncles and their grandparents and vacations together. What did we just have, the July 4th? They were all together. They rented a house. And then the whole entire extended family accepted her too. Her cousin Kathy, her parents, she'd actually secretly told her parents, but it was her mom's brother, and they're like, you know what, let's just keep this between us. So it's like all one huge happy family. It's just so amazing. I just needed to tell you guys all this. And again, put some hearts or turtles for support down below. And also, if you have a story that you would like for us to tell, you can send us an email. Check on our website. The email is info@DNAangels.org. And it's DNAngels. So it's DNAngels. There's only one A in there. It's very confusing. But you can check on our website. You can send us emails. We have a lot of people who would feel like if their story can help one more person, that it's so worth it. So be that change. Give someone a hand. Let us tell your story. You can come on here and tell your story if you would like. We can make it anonymous or not. But these happy endings are worth it. Just like this beautiful beach here, Sunset Beach. Okay, well, you guys have a great night. Until next time. Bye.